Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have the NA Sunday night event for you and we're playing Bloody Lane, a great map. I have no bias at all, even though I'm from the IVB. So, Bloody Lane, and then our second map is Kills Counter Attack. Both very open maps, very fun. It should be interesting to see how both of these play out, especially with the teams flipping each round. On the Union, we have I-Corps, which consists of Anderson's Brigade and Walker's Division. We have the Irish Volunteer Brigade, Pennsylvania Army, and then the Confederacy, we have 6th Wisconsin, 13th Georgia, 65th Illinois, 9th Corps, and Rebel 2nd Corps. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this event. Here we are with our first map, Bloody Lane, one of my favorite maps. I might have a bias seeing as I am in this regiment, the Irish Volunteer Brigade. So, on the top left of your screen, you have a 6th Wisconsin view of playing as the CSA. And on the top right of your screen, you have an Irish Volunteer Brigade view from the Union perspective. This will be a great round. This is the last regimental match that I'm doing for the summer before fall and college kicks back up. So I'm very excited, especially with Bloody Lane. Same thing, they start with the B. I'm the only one announcing tonight, but that's perfectly fine. So normally the Union strategy is, as you can see, they're gathering up on the left side. They're going to just bonsai over into this left flank here, get into the corn, and then push to point, surprise the CSA. Normally, CSA try to prevent the Union from getting past this road or getting on this road, getting a foothold. That's what I've historically seen. But as we can see right now, the CSA is kind of vibing here on the left side, which is very fascinating. They're forming kind of this pronged formation, if you want to call it that. So very, very interesting. But here come the Union. They're going down the left side here in force, and there are no Confederates. Never mind, there is one Confederate. Flacco wants to stop the Union entourage. Will he get it? Mustang misses, gets a kill, but they go down, and Union's going for it, man. So this will be very fascinating. Confederates are taking a position out in the open field. A lot of them, they just doing some running up, volleying in the distance. You could hear some cries of the dead off in the distance. So far, an interesting strategy by the Confederates. They aren't taking casualties so far. Too many anyways. But this is very, very fascinating. Confederates have really forced the Union to only come one way to attack them. Because if the Union tries to go around here, they have to charge across an open field. And that's just not feasible as a Union player. You can't do that. So Union's going to have to go through the corn if they want to charge. But then Confederates can hold up on that snake fence on this right side of the road here. So Confederates are playing this very interesting. I like it. It's new. Historically, they just try to hold this corner, lose right away, and Union can just charge right in and take point. But this is definitely interesting. Let's look at where the Confederates are positioned and what regiments are where. So we have 9th Corps up in front, the 9th New York. Behind them is 6th Wisconsin and the 65th Illinois on the other side of the fence. We have 13th Georgia, and then moving all the way up here is Rebel 2nd Corps. Union hasn't really adjusted yet. They're probably figuring out some strategy because, as we know, shooting the enemy down does not work. PA is moving out as a, I don't know if you want to call them a skirmisher force. You can, but they're moving up this right side to get some flanking shots on the Union or on the Confederates. Not same thing, but very interesting move by PA. I doubt I'll see the PA charge just because of how outnumbered they are. But alas, I am intrigued to see what they will do. I'm intrigued to see what the Union will do. They got to do something soon. Shooting down your opponents never works on big maps like this because it's so hard to hit shots in the first place. And then when you actually kill someone, they're in formation because the Confederates are all standing up in a nice line like the Union is right now. Union's filling up the width of this street right now. So IVB is holding back. I-Corps is waiting to push forward towards the point. Confederates have they've almost abandoned point. Union is able to get on point. It's natural decay right now. But as you can see now, Union is getting on the point. That point is decaying a lot faster. We have more Union going off to the right side to assist the PA. IVB doing a volley into the Confederacy. Interesting that they're standing up in the middle of the road. I guess it's the only best. That's the best place they can really be at to do volleys. But it looks like they're gonna cap this. Confederates are moving up. Rebel Second Corps. Who are they volleying at? They're volleying at the PA.
Back down. Back down.
How many kills did they get? Those are hard shots. It looks like they got a couple, 3 dead. Those are hard shots because you're shooting up to the crest of a hill. Bullets rise because it's less than 100 yards. Your guns are sighted to 100 yards. So it's very hard to shoot those. Artillery shot missing there. PA was there a moment ago. Maybe would have gotten a kill. But interesting. We have the Irish Volunteer Brigade pushing up to these center rocks here. Are they going to keep going? They're going to keep going. This is a very risky move. Is the rest of the Union doing something? No, they're not. It looks like they're shifting, but IVB is going into this alone right now. And, oh no. Oh no. Not my boys. A decent amount of them are still making it. A lot of IVB people here tonight. They were able to hit these first set of rocks. But right as they hit those first set of rocks, Confederates fall back a couple of layers. This is going to allow more Union to come up the middle here. The PA.
Officers down.
Yeah, the PA, really. So, PA is pushing up to assist the IVB. They do have their flag. IVBs, did they get their flag? Where'd their flag go? Their flag got killed. Right there, interesting. Oh, no, never mind. It's right. What the heck? Well, that's a flag down if I've ever seen a flag down. So, interestingly, IVB pushing across the map, securing those rocks on the right so that the Union could push further forward to deal more damage to the Confederacy. No really charges yet because Confederates have held themselves really, really far back. Props to them for holding back. Avoiding a lot of casualties, really. Union's beginning to cap that point. And I'm thinking Union should cap relatively soon. They probably are going to cap because you got to force the Confederates out at some point. Union, after spending a lot of men to get those rocks, are now falling back, realizing they're probably getting gunned down. I think Union needs to try to do some baiting, though. They need to draw the Confederates out in one way or another. Confederates returning to those original rock positions up in front. IVB is forming up here. Chevy looking over the land. Who moved back up here? It is Rebel Second Corps. They're independent firing towards the PA. That was a good shot by Mr. Archer. So, I am very intrigued to see the Union's next move. I think they got to move towards the point this way. Taking those rocks costs a lot of manpower. Yeah, but if they can get a foothold and start inching forward, that would be the best strategy. IVB beginning to reposition themselves across this field. They're moving in front of the PA. Looks like they're moving again for those rocks. Not taking as many casualties as last time. Of course, it's a lot farther away than their first charge. Is PA going to join? Sorry, this is not PA anymore. It's 14th Tennessee from Anderson's. I think PA is shifting back. But IVB is moving themselves up to these rocks here. They do have their flag, unlike last time, so they will get respawns. Are they going to keep going? They're going. They're not stopping. The rest of their team better be moving in to assist. Anderson's Brigade, 14th Tennessee, beginning to hop up and over. IVB. Oh, my goodness. They took some hits, but they're not dying terribly fast. My sir has been lost and oh, he goes down. Got a little lost there. IVB still having some men up here. Confederates shifting. They're now counter-charging this position. They're really charging. And 6 Wisconsin's going to move in and clean up the IVB. That flag should get away, maybe get away. Never mind. Good shots by the 6 Wisconsin. Maybe it was 9th Corps as well. But they have come through and completely wiped. Confederates are very exposed right now. 14th Tennessee pushed themselves out here in a nice open order. In formation, a line. I mean, from this view, it doesn't look good, but out here, I mean, yeah, it looks a little good. They got that double rank open line, open form, professional words. I know these terms, legitimately. PA is shifted back up here, volleying over at the Confederates, and we still see the rest of I Corps up here, independent firing into the Union. A very, very slow, bloody lane, at least historically. But this is what the Confederates need to do to win. And Union is now moving in to cap the point. It is first Georgia from Anderson's brigade. They're getting on point. Will the Confederates move out to stop the cap? I don't know. They haven't moved yet. They're still holding here, shooting them down. They know if they leave this position, it's going to be a bloodbath trying to retake the point. Just because Union has these nice positions. And on top of that, they have buck and ball. So we see 14th Tennessee shifting back down to those rocks over there. IVB is returning onto this far horn side. And then we have PA in the middle still volleying. So counterattack has begun. 20 minutes of counterattack. Confederates need to aggressively retake the point because there's two things you should be doing in the counterattack. Both of them require you being aggressive, in my opinion, because as the defenders, when you retake the point, you regain as many tickets as the attackers has if you have less tickets. So you want to be fast so you can get a higher total percentage of tickets remaining after the counterattack is done. The longer the counterattack goes, you kill more and more of the Union, and you won't be able to regain as many tickets. Of course, that is if you are under them, which I don't know if the Confederates are. It's very close. Union's been failing in these charges. Confederates have held strong. The other reason to be aggressive is the Union is now considered the defenders, so they could hit last stand. And then if the CSA caps point from there, they win the game. Of course, there might be other things going on that I don't know about. I'm just one announcer, one guy with my opinions and thoughts. So we'll see IVB volleying in the road here. Looks like Union is just going to hold back, force the Confederates to come to them. Why not? Especially if you think that you're down on tickets. What is this?
Oh, look coming, look coming.
So Confederates are beginning to charge, but that is the most trickled-in charge I've ever seen in my entire life. There's a mix of CSA regiments. Confederate artillery getting team kills, helping the Union there. I'm intrigued why the IVB is in the middle of the road. I'm surprised they aren't on this side of the snake fence. Maybe it's so they can't hold these positions and they can use their buck and ball effectively. Confederates hitting engaged. So Union has been ahead of tickets this whole time. Looks like either 14 Tennessee or PA has shifted into the fight. PA has to help hold this point. IVB is almost dead on the road here. 14th Tennessee has got to move in, and they now are. Confederates look like they are outnumbering the Union on point. Confederate artillery getting Union that time, unlike last time. As of now, it looks like the Confederates are going to be holding the point. They have more men coming off in the distance here, but this is such a trickle in. Confederates, it doesn't look like they've decided if they want to charge in or not. Half the guys are sitting back shooting. The other half are in a melee. Union hitting engage. That's good for the Union. Essentially, during this counterattack, they knocked everyone's tickets down. They're still ahead of tickets. And they've paused the timer. That is what you want to do with the counterattack. So really just remnants of these charges remaining. Union appears to be losing tickets so that the Confederates don't regain as much, because we know the Union is ahead of tickets. Union consolidating, Confederate artillery hitting their shot, and Confederates are countercharging to completely wipe the Union. Union flags should be moving back. They should have been moving back way sooner than that. So Confederates are shifting up onto that road. Off in the distance, you can see the Union starting to form up on that flank, and the Confederates have ended the counterattack successfully. So good for the Confederacy. Well done to them. Apologies for those sounds. I accidentally muted my headset, and so I had to turn everything back on. But well done to the Confederates for retaking that point. They retook it relatively quickly within 3-4 minutes. That's what they need to do, but Union did exactly what they need to do as well. IVB, for the meantime, is sitting back here, volleying from the distance, probably waiting for their friendlies to merge on this position. I'm very intrigued to see if the Union will try to push through this corn and hit the Confederates straight on instead of doing this sit back and shooting. As of right now, Confederates have 10 more men, so that might be why Union isn't being aggressive enough. However, Confederates have 10 men on artillery, so in a theoretical sense, the numbers are dead even infantry-wise, which is kind of crazy to think about. Confederate artillery is out here, for those of you who don't know, in the Piper Farm.
I hear
Very
like
much,
nothing.
yes.
Oh, there's a shot.
I think everyone cut out for a second.
So it's kind of crazy. Wait, the barrier is... Can Union get back to this artillery, or is it just my spectator cannon special boundaries that the infantry doesn't have? Maybe. I don't know. But IVB continuing to do these volleys here. That smoke was really delayed. That's kind of a cool effect. That was delayed. Maybe my PC's not good enough for this.
Let's get a straight line. Let's get a line going.
More Union forming in on the IVBs right here. We also do have Union up on top of this hill, but Confederates are pushing up as well. We see 14th Tennessee looking down that hill. Wanting to volley them, though, is Rebel 2nd Corps. Looks like they're just volleying at the rest of the Union force that is over on this side of the map. They have formed a beautiful line. Like, let's just get this. Oh, let's get the HUD away for a moment. Hey, look at that.
Take the word.
And right as we move into this position, IVB is doing some volleys and pushing forward. Jeez Louise. So Rebel 2nd Corps is pushed up to those rocks. They don't want Union over there at all. It also allows the Confederates, if the Union tries to push point on this side, they can get some nice behind the shot backs. So looks like the 14th Tennessee is going off to this left side, but right as they do, part of I Corps, 4th Texas, and I see 6th Georgia, 1st Georgia. Was that a 6 or a 1? I don't know. But the rest of I Corps is being to push out to the left. I think we have PA here. Yep, PA is to the left of the IVB. We have Mustang in the corn scouting, but we have Dracors here. Also scouting the Union, making sure they don't come through the corn. Because again, everyone's in a Discord chat and a Steam chat. So one man can sit here, alert everyone on his team of something happening. It's pretty crazy. Union beginning to push forward. I Corps doing the push up there, but right as they push, Rebel 2nd Corps smartly falling back, trying to avoid any casualties. Because this is still a Union biased map, despite all things. I mean, Union just capped the point. There was some melee. Confederates dropped down a stage. So, we might be seeing that 1 or 2 more times by the Union. With them trying to cap the point. More Confederate skirmishers pushing up here. More 9th Corps guys. Very interesting. One of the IMG guys see him. Oh, Mustang sees him. And they get that kill. Bucking ball is devastating at close range. And then for that reason, I'm kind of surprised Union isn't charging. V-ball searching for the rest of them. Doesn't find the rest of them. Yeah, really for now. This is in the Union's, like, Union has to make a move. They either got to cap the point again, they either got to charge, they got to do something. Mustang destroyed that guy, getting a free out-of-line kill. But right as they get that free out-of-line kill.
Who's this fucker?
That guy got a kill. But PA on the right side of the IVB now. Yeah, I'm very, very intrigued why the Union is doing this. But who knows? I'm not in the game. Again, we see things that they don't see. But they probably know Confederates are bunched up like this. They have to. But there might be things that they are seeing or hearing or understanding that I don't know, because their perspective is different. But we do have PA reshifting. Looks like they're going over to the right side here. So Union's in 2 prongs, 2 groups, as you call it. IVB and then everyone else. And right as PA shifts up the hill, IVB's starting to go through the corn. And 9th Corps reshifts. And that's absolutely perfect for the IVB. That was the worst possible timing 9th Corps could have had to done a move like that. I don't know if they saw PA, but IVB's cruising. They have buck and ball. It's devastating. They're overwhelming the Confederates that position themselves there. Will they be able to break through this? I am unsure of that. If PA had stayed down there, they could have pushed farther, but I don't know if 9th Corps would have reacted like they did if PA didn't move up there like that. A lot of IVB still here. 13th now moving in to help 9th Corps. Confederates now counter-charging, trying to get them out. Oh, we have a little lag there. We have some more lagging here. Oh, is my PC not having a fun? My PC might just not be having a good time right now. It is trying to load a lot right now. But more Union approach here. PA getting up front here, taking independent shots. Because IVB wiped a decent amount. Confederates repositioning themselves onto the snake fence on the other side of the road to get some flanking shots. Rebel 2nd Corps, IC, and 6 Wisconsin doing that movement. PA is going to get wiped here in the end, though. So, yeah, PA just getting absolutely slaughtered here. There's really no other way to show that, or just, yeah, it's just blatantly obvious that you can see that happening. So, although the Union did not secure the position up front, the Union, at least the IVB, did a fantastic job of pushing forward, buck and balling all of them, and doing that. But Union's holding back. We're seeing more independent fire here. Confederates got to be close to taking losses. Union probably close as well. I'm guessing the Confederates are closer. Union already repositioned themselves back on that corner. Confederates push themselves up to this snake fence to get some shots, but now are falling back. So, we are getting to the halfway point of this match. Confederates are still at engage. Union is as well. Union's not in a bad place still. Still plenty of time in this match to knock the Confederates down to breaking. We're halfway. Confederates are at low engaged, my guess. Especially after that charge that the IVB did. Even though the Confederates have positioned themselves in a better spot than they were last time, I think they could charge in again with buck and ball and devastate that line. Because, I mean, you're throwing 4 pellets. It's like a shotgun. 4 pellets into all these Confederates here. Like, even if you miss this first row here, you are 100% hitting that second row. So, IVB and PA on our left. I think this is PA anyways. Nope, it's part of I-Corps AB in Walker's division. So part of I-Corps is up here. 14th Tennessee is up here. And then who is all the way over here? I-Corps. Where is the Pennsylvania Army? Did I miss? Are they right here? They are. They are pushing up to where they were with the IVB. Union's beginning to sneak forward again. And we have a couple of Union up here. I think this is what the Union's trying to do. I think we're going to see I-Corps shifting down this fence here. Confederates might respond by going up to that snake fence where we saw them earlier, where the IVB charged them, and then maybe IVB will hit them on the flank. But I guess that's wrong because IVB's going in front of where IB is. Let's see if they're going to stop or they're going to keep going. Nice shot and kill there. I don't know who shot that. Good shot. You killed that rebel. You got it out of line. I-Corps is beginning to back up IVB. IVB's going for it. They're holding up on the snake fence. Getting shots into the Confederates. Buck and ball. They need to slam up against that fence. Because by going in the road, the guys on the right can have easier shots on you. I-Corps is now moving in. Behind them, the people on the top of the hill are moving in. Union's encapsulating the point. A lot of IVB still there. A lot of Confederates, though. Some Confederates counter-charging here. I don't know if Union wants to count, but all of the Union is now charging in here. Confederates had taken losses, and the point is going to be capped by the Union. Perfect timing for the Confederates to go into taking losses here. Because instead of a 12-minute counterattack, it's now 7. The melee looks like the Confederates are going to be winning over here. On this right side, on the other hand, it looks like Confederates have won. And Confederates will probably win on this charge as a whole in the very end. Now this will be very interesting to see if the Confederates recap the point or not. Union charging in here. The reason why I said that is because the Confederates could try to push the Union into last stand if they wanted to. There's enough time they have to charge out here and be aggressive though. I don't think Union would take the bait though. At least charging up. So, we just remnant charges happening on the point right now. Confederate artillery getting kills on both sides. And Confederates are not moving onto the point to cap it. They are currently holding back and holding off the point of contention. Actually, it looks like they are. Actually, a lot of the Confederates got wiped. It looked like from this view, you're like, oh yeah, there's barely any of the Confederates. Oh wait, they all died. So, and in terms of the Union, they're sprinting to back up to this left side. So we could very easily see. I don't think the next charge the Confederates will hit breaking. I think it's the charge after that. So if Union charges, they got to be wary of the cap. Confederates are recapping the point right now. And they have successfully recapped it. So, Union mostly pushing themselves up onto this right side here. We do have PA holding back up top, though. Confederates are returning to their original positions. We are over halfway through the match, and both sides are taking losses. A very, very close match indeed. It's only a matter of time. Confederates are a little behind on tickets. They hit taking losses before Union did. That just means that Confederates have half of their tickets left at least when they hit taking losses. Each stage represents 25% of your tickets. Confederates, brilliant. So right now, the Confederates risk going into breaking. And for those of you who don't know, if the Union caps the point on breaking or last stand, the Union will win the game. Confederates, realizing this, are pulling all the way back to their spawn. That's where their spawn is. And so this prevents the Union from killing them. It's going to force the Union to cap the point. And then the Confederates are going to come out and try to knock the Union into last stand. Because the Union is considered the defenders, so they get the defenders last stage. And once they hit last stand, the CSA could cap point and then just win the game because they're technically considered the attackers. Union, what they need to do at this point of the game is they're obviously not knocking the Confederates down the last stand, or breaking rather, because the Confederates are so far away in the first place. You can't see through the corn unless you have someone spectating, but they have this stone wall here, and that's just hard to kill through. So Union needs to cap the point, and then once they cap the point, do some fighting until both sides hit breaking, and then the Union needs to pull off point. Yeah, and force the Confederates to come in and retake the point, because then both sides are breaking, and Confederates will be forced to stay on point, because if you cap, you win the game. So, the understanding how the ticket stages work in this game is very critical as an officer, and I highly suggest, if you want to become actually like a good officer as well, to understand these things. Because you can pull off some really wonky stuff in this game because of how the game mechanics work. And it's very cool, and it can make gameplay entertaining and not the normal way of playing. But for now, we have, I see PA, I see part of AB and IVB shifting down this right side. You have some remnants of Confederates out here. Who are they? They are the 65th Illinois, the only group not back at spawn for the Confederates. PA is now charging them out. I guess this is where the PA is. Not like these deaths will matter because Union's going to cap here. The moment they cap, Confederates are going to begin to move out. Will the Confederates move out before they fully cap? Maybe Union's trying to bait them to come out before they cap. We're probably going to see some of that. And then Union's eventually going to cap. So we're probably going to be waiting here for another minute or two. Can they see their spawn? Oh, yeah, they can. So, Confederates mostly shifting down this side here.
Halfway between south and southwest.
So they are shooting towards the Confederate spawn this direction over here. They're probably not going to get a lot of kills. Confederates, realizing this, are shifting over to make sure Union doesn't hit them there. Where are those shots going? I really can't tell. But for now, Union just waiting, hoping the Confederates come out, but Confederates aren't going to come out. Confederates have played this masterfully so far. Union's done a masterful game so far. It'll be very interesting to see who pulls this one out in the end. But I think Union's got a cap within the next minute or so. Union's got a cap, force both sides to breaking, and then get out of there. Confederates, once they cap, they got to charge, and don't let the Union rest so that you can knock them in the last stand. And instead of capping, Union is sitting up on these fences. It looks like they're just volleying at the Confederates through this corn, hoping they hit. I mean, there is a snake fence that's so decent cover. Didn't kill anybody. Where'd those shots even go? I should be looking at this hill instead. Because the cool thing is you can see dirt kick up from volleys. I'm guessing we're going to see... Oh. Hey, you can see all the dirt. I mean, the one dirt in the middle there, on the wing long. You could see a lot of those shots are going over. It's still kind of cool to see. I don't know how many they're killing. Are there any bodies?
Bullets flying right over my head.
Gas the people.
So we are officially, not officially, but we're almost 2/3 of the way through the match. The timer, and Union still has not moved in the cap. Confederate artillery getting some nice juicy kills.
Fall back, boys. Come on, get off the hill.
Kind of tell where they hit. And the Union is beginning to cap the point.
Who called me colorblind? Because that's what was going on down there. Hey, wait, who called me colored?
Fix it up.
Whoa.
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 Hey,
No,
Hey, we got
Call me
colors.
blind.
Okay. We
Whoa.
got
Yes,
colors.
blind.
Wait, who's calling me colored again?
That's not being inclusive.
I'm just
There,
blind.
attention.
Hey, keep an eye on the corn. If they're not
There
right,
is
bro.
Goondog, the man himself, leader of Goon Sussy Line Network. You didn't hear that from me, though. We are an unbiased news source. A great man Goondog is. So, Union, at 14.5 minutes, have successfully capped the point. In about a moment, they will successfully... I jumped the gun on saying that. So, Union have now officially capped the point. 7-minute counterattack, and Confederates are beginning to move out. Union just needs to knock them down, both sides down to breaking, and pull out. That's really all they need to do. And when they pull out, they need to avoid taking casualties. I think IVB is not holding up against the fence for the sake of melee. Why did those guys just die?
On the line order. Look behind you.
Over here.
And it looked like those guys just dropped. But IVB's in an unfortunate spot. They're not there. They're not coming right at. They're coming from the side. IVB is now realizing this, so they're reshifting their fire. And Confederates are now charging the Union. Again, Union just needs both sides to go down the break, and Confederates need to knock the Union in the last stand. IVB's getting overwhelmed. So IVB is gone. We have the middle here, though. I-Corps is moving in to assist.
Destroy these men.
The dead IVB securing that position. I presume PA is overholding that flank. It'll be very hard for the Union to pull off when they hit breaking. Actually, Union's going to be holding this charge over here. They got plenty of men there. They have plenty of men behind them in reserve. On this right side, though, PA is holding hard against Rebel 2nd Corps. I mean, it's not really as hard as over there. I made that sound a little exaggerated. But Confederates hit breaking. Union's going to be close. Union's got to be close to breaking. Union needs to start pulling off. I think they need to pull off some of their forces here. So that when they retreat, they don't take a lot of skirmishing out of line when the Confederates volley here. PA is holding. It looks like they're going to get wiped. Some of I-Corps is repositioning themselves to help the PA, taking some shots into that fire. Fighting fire with fire. I-Corps, after winning on the left, they haven't won, but they won the charge. Confederates still there, though. And Union's mass charging. They want to go into breaking. They need to go into breaking. More Union moving in. They want to go to breaking. Maybe they'll try to hold for 4.5 minutes. I don't know. That is another way they can win, right? They don't have to pull off when they hit breaking. But then again, the Confederates can just keep slamming into the Union. And Union hits breaking. This will be the moment. Will they pull off point? Or they try to hold? So it looks like Union is holding. The Union is bonsaiing towards point. Union hits breaking. Confederates restarting their assault again because their respawns are back in at it. This is very risky for the Union to do. However, they believe they can hold it for 4 minutes. I don't know. So incredibly risky. Because Union go in the last stand, Confederates retake point, they win. They're winning on point right now. Union needs to pull back and let them cap. I mean, they probably don't realize they're losing because that's just a mess down there. It really, really is. But Union need to back off. Their flags are retreating. Union is essentially wiped off the point. There are a couple Rambos. That's the one thing that sucks. You gotta tell your men to like stop going in after trickling in for a while. And Confederates aren't capping point. Again, Union needs to pull all the way back to their spawn. And they need to hide somewhere. Because the Confederates are trying to force the Union the last stand by bonsaiing like this. Union is so spread out right now. Union needs to fall back to their spawn. They need to hide. They can't, oh my goodness. Confederates have control of the point right now. Union needs to reform and hide at their spawn. They need to force the Confederates to cap. By moving out like this, the Confederates can fight you and knock you in the last stand. We saw this earlier today in the EU Historical Rules event. So, is Union still moving out here?
He's a semi-quad.
Okay, I just got back.
Union is massing out. Again, I don't know why Union's moving out like this.
Send a point.
Guys, really?
This is so risky for the Union to go out like this. CSA, bonsai charging into the flank of the Union, right? These Union guys are not going to win on their own. They're now moving into point. This is really just mob rule on the Confederates' part. There you go, where they want to go. I really don't know why. Oh, well, we'll see. Maybe it will work. I don't know. There's still a minute 40. Maybe Union won't go in the last stand. Maybe Union's thinking, hey, we're not going to hit last stand. There's not enough time on the clock for this. But we have mostly IVB, some I-Core there as well. I saw MJ. We have more of I-Core slamming into the Confederates up top here. Confederates killing a lot of Union on a line. These casualties are going to be saying at the end of this battle. Union is getting on point. We're at the 1 minute 15 second mark. Confederates, if final push, Union's going to hit last stand very shortly. What a battle. This is so incredibly close. When the Union hits last stand, that'll decide this match. Because when you die in last stand, once last stand hits and you die, you can't spawn back in. So, Confederates charging in mass, a lot of Union on the point. This is so incredibly risky. A lot of Union, I can't tell who's going to win this. My gut's saying Confederates right now. Union just, no, don't go in. Don't go in. Union's losing on point right now. They need to fall back. Actually, we're going to see an overtime here. Union has to charge in. For those of you who don't know, overtime, if a team's trying to retake the point. Wow. So yeah, those of you who don't know, in an overtime, if the team trying to take the point has more bodies on point than the team trying to take it at 0, the game goes into overtime. And because of that, that's why we're in an overtime. It takes a while to fully cap the point. Union going, this is it. That's all the Union that's left. Confederates have infinite tickets. So Union's just running into a shredder. They're all going to die a painful death. And the Confederates won this one in the end. Crazy. And look at this mass. Unfortunately, they're way too late.
Gotta get those flags.
So that is the end of our first round, Bloody Lane. Really, I think, fantastic play overall by both sides throughout this round. The only mistake was the Union kept going in. Maybe they thought they could hold the point. Maybe they thought they weren't going to go in the last stand. that'll be something for the post-game interview. However, that really killed them. That really, really did kill them. Union did not respond. Casualties will be high. It'll be fun to watch. But well done, the Confederates. They did what they need to do. They used the game mechanics to their advantage. Fantastic job on their part. A well-deserved victory. Union just can't make that mistake. That's really all it is.
We gotta start decapitating them.
What?
Yeah, we're still one anyway.
Look at the casualties they're gonna rack up here. Oh my goodness. Union hitting over 1,000. With that being said, we'll see you in the second round. Here we are with our second round. Hills counter attack. It should be just as good as our previous round. I've seen something similar like last round on this map before. It didn't work out so well last time. However, it is entirely possible. So it'll be very fun to watch. So let's look at the Union defense while the Confederates are beginning to move out here. We have I-Corps here, mostly Anderson's brigade. Walker's in pursuit. To their right.
Just loads.
More I-Corps. And then I presume the PA and IVB are up top with 65th as well.
Apparently.
So, in terms of the Confederate assault, we can see that Confederates are holding up on this snake fence here. We have 9th Corps and we have Rebel 2nd Corps. They are volleying at the Union right now. What the heck? Over to our right here, we have the 13th Georgia. Behind them, still holding back at their main, is more of 9th Corps. We do have 13th Georgia on artillery, and pushing down the far right side is the 6th Wisconsin. So here's Hill's counterattack. It looks like a square, as we can see. You got the 4 corners. I actually never really noticed that till now. That's kind of funny to look at, though. Why is there a road just in the middle of this field? I find that fascinating now that I think about it. But anyways, pushing up here, we do have some IAB guys. Anderson's Brigade, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But they are pushing forward. I don't know why they're doing this. Maybe they're just trying to see where the Confederacy's at. Can we hear them talking?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, they now see them.
There's Confederates up here.
Austin knows there's Confederates. He's trying to warn his friendly Vandari. Vandari knows. Will he die? Takes a shot and runs away. Like nothing ever happened and nobody died. Maybe a Confederate did. I don't know.
Take an aim.
But so again, this is similar to last map. Confederates just need to be aggressive. They need to be aggressive somewhere, and they need to be aggressive together. Union is doing what they historically do on this map. There's no real change to strategy. We do have IVB doing some volleys out in the field. I don't know if PA is. May have missed that. I remember historically Union falling back. I've seen, actually, there's 2 other strategies I've seen for this map. And that's Union goes to that corner and kind of hides, or goes behind their spawn and hides. Haven't seen those in regimentals in a long time, though. So, yeah, it's really just what Confederates just need to do something somewhere. Let's look at numbers in the meantime. Confederates outnumber the Union by 12. However, there are 14 men on artillery, so Union outnumbers the Confederates infantry-wise by 2 men. Will Confederates put that 12 men on artillery to use? I don't know. Let's see how many men they got. So we have 2 guns here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 over here. So for 2 guns, we have 6 men. It's about 3 per gun. What the average is. Maybe they're just moving more guns that way. It is kind of early in the match. Are they charging up here? I thought I saw some flags moving. Nope, they're just shifting forward here. But in this other battery, we have 2, 4, 7 for 3 guns. It's a little over 2 men per gun. Fascinating. Union volley hitting a lot of the dirt there. We do have 9th Corps joining up with the 13th. They're doing some rising volleys, at least the 13th is. Confederates playing very passive on this map so far. We have 5th Virginia pushing forward, skirmishing. And of course, right as you say something, they're pushing forward on both fronts. You can see the little flags are pushing up on the left. Not so much the right, but they were pushing up a moment ago. So Rebel 2nd Corps and 9th Corps are beginning to push up. I can just call them 2nd Corps because there is no Union 2nd Corps anymore. Union doesn't know that they're coming yet.
Take it.
Never mind, they knew Mustang was right there. So PA is behind the IVB by a little bit. This charge is a little sprinkled in. That's a good movement there. They just had a gulp come in. But look how spread this charge is. I hate that that's out of bounds. So it looks like, I really can't tell. This is just the scraps of the end of a melee. I think Confederates are going to pull up on this one, especially with the, I think this is the 13th that is moving in. Nope, it's more Rebel 2nd Corps. 13th is moving up to the point. It is. 13th is moving on the point. They are capping. So that was a big win for the Confederates. They have secured this hill position that's pivotal on this map. Maybe Union putting half their men in the corner was not the best idea, because this hill position for the Union is like of most importance, because now Confederates have control of this side of the map. The only way Union can charge point is from over here, which is why that hill's so critical. But Confederates are starting to cap the point, drive everyone's tickets down. This is a normal hills game, at least so far. Union beginning to shift their men from spawn back to this corner position. It is the PA moving down there as well. So PA did get wiped along with the IVB, but the counterattack has begun. 20 minutes. Battle ready, battle ready. Is the 13th going to hold? 13th is going to hold on point. Independent firing towards the point here. Is this IVB? I think it is. It is. So now IVB is independent firing towards the point, but 13th is pulling off almost instantaneously. I really like this. They capped. Union has to come out now. However, Union is behind on tickets. But it isn't the end of the world because everyone's losing tickets now, so it's great. I-Corps is sending a small detachment out. Blackshear's battery, I think it is. They are moving out onto point to start the decap and recap. They're going to try to retake this point while using the least amount of men as possible. I stand corrected. Here come more. Are these guys just following?
And the pin fire.
Nope, they're just moving forward and firing. But yeah, they're going to try to take this point with the least amount of men as possible, take the least amount of casualties, not let the Confederates do what they want. The PA is pushing up on this right flank, though. They're taking some shots into Rebel 2nd Corps.
Left, boys, on our left.
So IVB is also pushing up here through the open. Are they charging? They are indeed. So this isn't a terrible idea. IVB wiping out the group in the open, but there's still a lot of Confederates here. And the Union are going to lose that. They keep going, though. I don't like this. I can understand the charge, because here's the thing, right? When the defenders retake the point, which they aren't going to retake it now because Confederates are moving in, I think there's possibly the 13th. Yep. So PA is now charging in up top. Those charges were not coordinated together. But PA is charging in. They're going to die as well. So I liked what the IVB did because they charged into the side here. And they really kind of prevented Rebel 2nd Corps from moving onto the point. If they went straight for point, they could just charge right in and they could all mosh pit around the Union. But by doing that, it kept them off the point, let their guys keep capping, but they didn't have enough guys on point, so 13th was able to walk in and just take it back. There's still some fighting happening over here. Mr. Buford from the IVB successfully getting his flag away. Flag's kind of important on this map. It's not the most important thing, because the map isn't terribly huge, but it can help a lot. Actually, I don't know. I mean, it probably takes 10-15 seconds to get there, another 5-10 seconds to get up here, so 30 seconds of running. Nah, not the worst thing in the world. So IVB and PA are forming up in that corner. Rebel 2nd Corps is still holding up there. 13th is falling back off point, trying to bait the Union out again so they can get more kills. But this is a very, so far, a generic kills counterattack. Union hitting engaged. Confederates trying to get back over there to make sure they can hold that in case the Union decides to charge again. Union could try to be aggressive and force the Confederates in the last stand, because 20 minutes is such a long time. I mean, 20 minutes, a normal game, 20 minutes, that's little less than half of the game. And if Union kept charging and charging, they could do that if they wanted to. Of course, they'll probably hit final push first, seeing as they hit engage, and Confederates still are not at engage. Union can go all the way up through here. So they could push the Confederates out if they wanted to. Again, though, very, very risky. But I think Unions are going to try to recap now so that they can go back up the battle ready. On top of that, maybe wait till the Confederates hit taking losses and try to push them in the last stand like we saw last round. Again, using the game mechanics to your advantage. So I-Corps is shifting up, moving more of their men to these hay bales. Who moved out here? It is the PA. IVB is holding back on this corner position. More of a distraction force. I think we're going to see the Confederates charge here shortly, because they know they're ahead in tickets. And they need to drain their tickets as many as they can, so that the Union cannot regain as many tickets. And even if they win, they hold the point a little longer and can keep doing what they want to do for a little while longer. And because of that, Rebel 2nd Corps is now charging in. You can see 13th is charging in the distance as well. 9th Corps is here as well. Confederate charge is so trickled, though. But that doesn't even matter. Because, like we said originally, they have more tickets. Union recap, they went back up to battle ready. Whoever wins this melee, Union's just falling back. Union could win that, too. Maybe not if they came in. The 6 Wisconsin. One of these two groups, the 6 Wisconsin. There's 6 Wisconsin. Union hitting engaged almost instantly. And look at all these guys caught in the open for skirmishing about already. Skirmishing out of line. Confederates hitting engaged, too. Confederates holding on point. IVB is able to get to the top of that hill because Rebel 2nd Corps pulled off. And it looks like Confederates are just going to recap the point again. Confederates will keep going. And 6 Wisconsin not going to hit that fence because they know they're going to get wiped. We do have some forces charging the IVB here. Who do we have? It is part of 9th Corps, 9th New York. 9th New York and 9th Corps. Say that 10 times. But IVB is holding up on top of the hill. Looks like Rebel 2nd Corps and some 9th Corps, I presume, will be coming up here as well. But Rebel 2nd Corps is reforming up on this fence. Confederates on point. I assume that's the 13th. Yep. They aren't taking that many casualties either. A lot of shots going over the head. You can hear them whizzing by this camera's head.
Information, loose it up. Make sure you capture.
We seem to have dropped in the
Loose it up. Make sure you capture.
So, looks like Confederates are going to cap the point, and we're going to see what we just saw. Except instead of a 20-minute counterattack, it is now 12. So, right as they cap, 13th pulled off. If Union wants to retake the point, they need to retake it now. because they probably don't see this like we do, right? But there's Confederates. They're so far back over there. Confederate respawns are still getting in. Really, the only two groups are Rebel 2nd Corps and the 13th Georgia. Maybe 6 Wisconsin that's holding there. Really, the only two groups that I can see that are able to muster a fight. And because of that, the PA and I Corps are moving in onto the point. I think this is PA's in here. Yep, PA is in there. Will the Confederates push out, though? My guess is they will. Actually, I don't know, right? Both sides are very close on tickets, and if they push out, they could take a lot of casualties. But they could also deal a lot of casualties when Union retreats, when they recap the point. IVB beginning to push up this right side. They're taking shots into the Confederates. They don't see too many of them, though. They drop a couple of the guys that can be seen, but they miss the guys in the back. Firing in the distance over here, we have 6 Wisconsin. We have 9th Corps taking shots as well. 13th, is this the 13th? It was this 9th Corps. It is 9th Corps. 13th is right there. 9th Corps is bonsaiing towards the point now. The ticket drain thing is a little more iffy this time. Because, again, they're so close ticket-wise that Union could theoretically be ahead. We see 5th VA skirmishers charging in here as well. 6 Wisconsin pushing up on our right side. They are now charging in, but more Union is going to flank the flankers. The flankers are being flanked by flankers. We'll just keep adding on to that. 13th Georgia now pushing in under the point of contention as well. 6 Wisconsin turning their attention to these guys. 14th Tennessee. Both sides in a scrap. Confederates are going to run on the right side here. In the center, though, it's a little more close. Confederates have more bodies. They're capping the point. And it looks like Confederates will successfully hold the point. But wait, it's not over. The IVB is beginning to move in onto the point right now. Rebel 2nd Corps is probably going to follow them as well, I would presume. This is a very close melee on point. Will IVB change the course of the battle? I mean, you have more Union trickling in as well, so I think Union will take the advantage as long as Rebel 2nd Corps doesn't push in. Which they're sitting back right now. They're taking their shots. And it looks like Union's going to prevail on the point. Rebel 2nd Corps could try to get in, but I think they're just trying to hold the top of that hill. So they won't push in. Confederates ended up winning on that right side, but they're falling back, preserving their flag. You can see that flag bearer also running away, trying to preserve the flag. And Union are going to be able to successfully recap the point. Both sides are probably at a mid to low engaged. But Confederates doing exactly what they need to do. Union's going to fall back. We're going to see Confederates cap again. We're probably going to, more than likely, we're going to see something like last round happen. Rather than a clock going down to 0 seconds. Because Confederates are just going to keep capping the point, and the black clock is going to stop. So who's pushing off to the right side? IVB is off to the right, so I presume PA is in the center with I Corps to their left, reforming their lives after getting battered while trying to retake that point. Up on top of the hill is still Rebel 2nd Corps. It is. And then we see 13th and 9th Corps forming in the middle. 6 Wisconsin pushing off in the distance. But yeah. Both sides are reforming after taking a beating. What is this officer doing? It is Ninja. Ninja is known for going off and keeping points capped on his own, which is what he's doing right now, making sure it's capped so that if the Confederates try to go cap it, it'll take a lot longer for them because instead of being completely decapped, it is fully capped in the Union favor. And as you can see, the point is being capped. There's a rebel here. He's got to see Ninja, right? I don't even know how to pronounce your name. Unless I spell it out. He doesn't see Ninja, but he could do something. More Confederates are shifting up to the top of this hill. It is Rebel 2nd Corps. Holding up on the top there. So yeah, Union. There's another guy up there capping. But Confederates got to move in and cap, or maybe they're just going to try to shoot him down. My guess is they're going to cap because shooting down takes a long time. Of course, it is possible the Union could be shot down to breaking, but then again, that's probably going to take a good 20 minutes. Shooting from long distances is very hard in this game. Rebel 9th Corps actually is in front of Rebel 2nd Corps, being very aggressive on the IVB here.
They're 35 yards in front of us, right by that tree. Shoot to the left and right of the tree.
Easy shots. So 9th Corps actually pulled back a little bit.
Tapped twice already. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So someone's got to hit taking losses soon. There it is. Look at that. You say it, and it comes into reality. And maybe I should just start saying things like, Union's going to hit breaking. Oh, it didn't happen? That's kind of surprising. But, yeah. Union hitting taking losses. Confederates could, if they want to, cap. It'll be very hard for the Union. Actually, Confederates are close to taking losses as well, because we saw both sides hit engage at the same time. Of course, there's been more of a melee since then, but Confederates, I would think, are close as well. Actually, that shoot down might take 14 minutes instead of 20, just because the Union hit taking losses. Union hit taking losses a little sooner than expected in my mind. This is the weirdest kind of, we're forming shapes here. Like we have the letter 4, number 4 upside down, turning into a cursive M. Like, look at that. You got, or more like it, more likely. Looks like a U. That's kind of cool, actually. I don't think they're intended. That's such an interesting position, though. So they have, you have the 5th VA. Rebel 2nd Corps skirmishing behind them. We have Rebel 2nd Corps, more Rebel 2nd Corps, I think, shooting off towards the PA and the Senna. And we have the rest of the Rebel 2nd Corps probably shooting off at PA as well. Behind them is 9th Corps. They're also shooting at PA. And the 13th. Oh, there's the 9th. Is this the 13th? That is the 13th. I don't know why I said they were 9th Corps. We have 13th there shooting at PA. We have 9th Corps shooting at PA. But the 6th Wisconsin is shifting down this fence a little, and they're taking shots at I Corps. Confederates hitting, taking losses. So, again, this is exactly like last round. This is turning into last round. And the same rules apply. The Confederates cap, they just need to pull off when Union hits breaking. Or when both sides are breaking. And then they can recap after that and win. Or push the Union in the last stand, because Union's going to be forced to stay by the point. So, for now, it is a shootout. We do have rebels pushing up onto this left side here. They're just getting some shots and then backing off almost instantly. But yeah, more Confederates. They're pushing. They're creeping further and further forward. They really want kills.
Pull it back.
Pull back.
IVB is going to get shots off as well.
Get behind the tree as cover, boys. Keep
But
running.
right as they fall back, IVB shifting right to get some better shots on them. But unfortunately, those shots will be a hair too late. Just because the Confederates do have enough time to get near the point of contention. Just look at how beautiful this game looks, even on low settings. Look at that. So Union, very interesting. I think they're trying to push their advantage with their tickets. So they are now pushing over to this side towards the 6 Wisconsin. They're going to try to wipe them down and get ahead on tickets. So they're taking their shots. Again, they have so many men. I wish they would have held their shots till the charge. Not like it matters because they're going to win this regardless. So Union wiping them. Oh no, they're going for their artillery. I think they tried to get that shot off, but they didn't. And now Confederates are just taking some out of lines. That might have changed the balance in terms of tickets, though. We do have, is this the 13th? We do have some 13th guys getting shots at I-Corps. It's long range, so they're probably not going to get too many kills. And because of this, we do have more 13th Georgia. I don't know if they're moving into cap. It looks like they are. Or are they passing through? It looks like they're just passing through. Confederates are really just waiting for the Union to go breaking here. They have plenty of time to do that. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Who was that? I guess it's their first time shooting over there. Can't blame them, I guess, for missing too badly. So Confederates are creeping up more and more on this left side. They're really just trying to get as many nice shots as they can. Holding up on the corner, we have PA. They're kind of bunched up here in a little ball. Confederates, the 6 Wisconsin is actually moving over, shooting at I-Corps. They're making their pushback. I-Corps is retreating, but not all together here. Who do we have? Is 13th right? 13th could try to charge across here, or just go to the end here and have a nice opportunity to cut off Union spawns.
Here we go. Here we go.
Nope, but it looks like they're just going to sit back here and take some shots. Union just needs to avoid going into taking loss. I mean, Union, if they wanted to, they could pull back all the way into that corn back there. I don't know how effective, I don't know if artillery is ranged for that far. But Union could pull all the way back there and force the Confederates to cap like we saw last round. But right now, they're still in a shootout. Maybe Union just doesn't want to go back up there. I don't know if this is out of bounds. I don't know if this is out of bounds with the Confederates. I mean, I spawned in as a Confederate. And usually I have the same out of bounds with them unless I'm a spectator, so I get everyone's bounds. We do have the 13th here, taking some shots here at I-Corps.
Hey, you and your dude Bobby's doing really good. He's a sergeant major and a king.
He's moving up in the world.
He's moving up.
So there are still some Union over there. And 6 Wisconsin going to get some nice out-of-line kills. And shots still being engaged on this side of the map. And 9th Corps is actually charging. They're done waiting. They're done shooting. They want to make something happen. And a lot of those guys are going to get killed. I think the Union's going to get more team stabs than anything. Union guys hopping up and over. Not the best idea.
Don't you guys hate this music?
PA is now charging out. I don't know why. There is a little more than a couple guys behind there. And Union's actually charging out on this flank too. Oh, this is fascinating. IVB is holding back though. PA is engaging. That's going to be good for the Confederacy as there's a lot of out-of-lines. I-Corps charged up here into the 13th. 9th Corps is here as well. And now 6 Wisconsin's charging into I-Corps as well. Someone's hitting braking here. This charge over here is favoring the Union right now. Wow. So Union is able to successfully hold over there. PA is still alive. Union hitting braking. I don't think the Confederates are going to go for point. Because they're heavily outnumbered on the field right now. Or maybe they'll just try to win it right now. I don't know. And Rebel 2nd Corps is moving out to the point. They're forcing the Union to come to them. I-Corps is returning to their original positions. IVB is holding back. PA is getting their respawns. Point is going massively in the favor of the Confederacy right now. IVB is beginning to move out. Point is still going in the favor of the Confederacy. There's no way the Confederates win this year, right? No way they cap it here. And, oh, it's going back up. Confederates are breaking. Point is going back into the favor of the Union, and that's just going to keep going. Confederates are going in mass here. Here we go. Oh, there we go. It's awfully quiet here for a charge. So, actually, there's not a lot of Confederates, though. I mean, Confederates are now beginning to move in. This is kind of weird. It's like the most climatic point of the game. However, it's like, it's very somber, very silent, because both sides haven't collided each other. There's kind of a break there in the charge. Confederates are just pouring in here. Someone's going to hit their final stage first. Confederates want this round to be done with. While Confederates are more staying in their blob, Union's just kind of charging out individually, and the Confederates are slowly getting more and more men. You can see the point is going back into the favor of the Confederacy. However, Union is getting a bulge of forces in right now. More Confederates coming in. This is really, the point of contention is just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Confederates now holding at the edge of the point, trying to bait the Union to come in at them. Never mind, they're pushing out. Both sides charge out at the same time. So, Union is overwhelming, and they are winning on the point of contention right now. I'm gonna... Yeah, Union is countercharging out, trying to kill these last rebels. Get some nice kills in the meantime. I'm gonna lower my settings one more time here, because I looked at my task manager quickly, and my PC's not doing too well right now. But it's not terrible, so we're still good. And I can kind of tell too. Apologies if any of the frontline reporters is also lagging a little bit. Confederate artillery getting some nice shots there on the Union. Confederate artillery has a perfect opportunity. Union needs to get off of there as quickly as possible before Confederate artillery can really start doing damage. Because the one good thing that Confederate artillery is at is hitting huge blobs of men. And this is a huge blob of men. So, Confederates are just probably forming up for one final charge. Maybe not a final charge, but a charge nonetheless. Union hitting last stand because of that artillery shot or infantry. That artillery shot didn't look like it hit anybody, though. Confederates are just going to charge here. Actually, they're waiting for their more men. They're trying to get the most amount of men they can. We have the first remnants of this charge moving in. So, Confederates are shifting further and further right so that they can have a closer area of charging, if you want to call it that. There's less distance between them and the point, or them and the enemy. They can charge. But right now, I think the Confederates are just in a shootout. They're just going to try to shoot them down. Why not? They have 18 minutes. The Confederate artillery can just keep going ham on the Union.
You missed.
Go pick up that flag.
That shot bounced off. Holy cow. That's crazy.
But it's the color.
Move up.
Cover behind a Reverend, come back. Oh, for God's sake, why would you do it?
So Union just needs to force the Confederates into the final push. And unlike most cases, they can't charge out and try to push them in the final push because they're all bunched up here. Confederate artillery, again, not getting any kills there. Even though they hit dead center. Where'd that shot go? Right there? Jeez. So Confederates inching out in the field, using the hay bales just like the Union are for cover. Getting some shots over this way. So this is really just a matter of time. The one the Union hit last stand at the beginning of the Confederates need to be worried about on the lines in skirmishing deaths. I mean, not so much. They're probably going to win this. But, I mean, Confederates still have tickets. They just need to avoid taking too many so they go in the final push and then desperation hits. They'll probably still win even if they hit final push. But overshot. The slow and painful death for the Union. A sad day indeed. What was a server pop? I never really paid attention to that. 250, holy cow. Was more than expected, that's for sure. That's crazy. Confederates, now realizing they've shot them down for a couple of minutes, are now charging in and are putting the nail in the coffin for the Union. There they go. Confederates will probably hit final push here, but that doesn't really matter. And Union's getting steamrolled. They never had a chance. They got weakened so hard when they hit last stand. And well, that should do it after the Union get wiped right here. Yeah, that's it. So, well done to the Confederacy there. They did exactly what they need to do. They kept the point early on, stopped the clock, brought everyone's tickets down. That's literally exactly what they need to do to win that game. Union, I think, just need to pull back in the middle of the game as far back as they could and force the Confederates to cap. This map you can't hide as well as Bloody Lane. However, they should have tried something like that instead of sitting back in a shootout, because the Confederates can slowly whittle you down, charge out, like they eventually did. But regardless of that fact, it was an enjoyable round. Again, Union just, I think, made that critical mistake again. But yeah, well done to the Confederates tonight. A good 2-0. Union dropped the bag on the first one. They kind of dropped the bag on the second one. Regardless, still fun to watch. A lot of casualties. It's always great to see that. And with that all being said, we will see you in the post-game interview. Here we are with the Sunday NA skirmish event. We had 2 rounds. The first on Bloody Lane, where CSA was able to do the old flip the point thing, force the Union into last stand, and win the game like that very decisively. It was very fun, very close at the end. And then we saw Nicodemus Hill. Hill's counterattack, and that went pretty much according to how that map is normally played. So CSA won both rounds. Good match to watch. We have a bunch of leaders from tonight to talk about strategy and more. With that being said, let us go through our USA representatives and introduce them. So first we have Cheeto.
Hey, it's Major General Cheeto, Anderson Brigade, I Corps.
Then we have Layhey.
Going to be captain for Black Shears Unit, I Corps.
And then we have MJ.
Brigadier General of Walker's Division and I Corps.
And then last but not least, we have Kasagui.
Second Lieutenant, IVB.
All right, thank you. On to our CSA representatives. First, we have Pratly.
Yep, Colonel of the 9th New York of IX Corps.
And then we have Pearl.
Lieutenant Colonel of the 13th Georgia.
And we have Kronk.
Captain Kronk, 13th Georgia.
And last but not least, we have Imperator.
Major of the 6th Wisconsin.
Thank you all for being here. And then I was announcing tonight as Guardian Eagle. Let's move into the first round, Bloody Lane. USA was attacking, so we'll start with you guys. What was your strategy going into the round, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Take that left side corner and then move up and get killed. But unfortunately, it did not happen that way. Was captured early. Not sure why that happened, and it just turned into a adjustment on the fly from there. So the first plan was not executed correctly, unfortunately.
Any other Union?
That's basically what happens. I was with Cheeto. Most of I-Corps was in sync tonight. Walker's and Anderson's, Tennessee, Blackshears, all that kind of stuff. We were basically working in concert, like right off of each other. So plan was go left, we went left, and then it went to shit after that.
IVB, we mainly held the left side of the map. When we first charged the left side, I was surprised that there was no CSA, no CSA units trying to defend the left, which I think that's the first time I played Bloody Lane where there's been no contestation there. I think it worked out well for them. They lost less tickets there. We've pretty much shooting buck and ball down the road at them. IVB made one mistake charging. We went right and we kind of got pincered there. I think we should have been more aggressive in the corn. Would have led to more losses for the CSA, and then we wouldn't have had to early cap due to their turtley.
I can agree with that. Layhey, is there anything you wanted to add onto that, or?
It was interesting watching the units move. Basically, after the initial push, we were, as everyone said, reacting. So it was a very maneuver-oriented fight that I'm surprised in some ways didn't go more of our way as we kept shifting back and forth. There were times where we'd almost get the pressure on, and then we'd have to readjust, or just basically losing that initial plan, I feel like really hurt.
All right, thank you. Only question I had for the Union was when you guys hit breaking in the second counterattack, why did you guys keep sending everybody in? Why didn't you guys pull back as far as you could and force the CSA to recap the point and then push in again and cap and win when both sides are on breaking?
On our end, it's because we knew we had another unit that was already going. We were bayonets and go from spawn. And the reason we were bayonets and go from spawn is because we knew that we had friendlies on the point in melee. If we had all gotten wiped, that's most certainly what we would have done. I don't think we even got to the point before we hit last stand in Walkers after we died. But that's the logic on my end, at least.
Yeah, IVB had similar perspective. After we had about half of our unit on point, and then the other half spawned in at main, and then we tried to run back to reinforce, even though just because we saw like the flow of Union troops moving towards point, so it was kind of inevitable to get all of our men to stop and hold and spawn. So I knew the game was kind of over when we had that string of friendlies just flowing into point.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even if I think if you still have friendlies up on point and you're losing it, because I think at the time CSA was taking point, I myself, but I had that overview. I didn't have your guys' perspective, but all in hindsight. So,
well, it goes back down to communication.
Yeah, that's also true.
That was like, hey, we're fighting it, we still got it. So let's see, coming from spawn, and like, okay, well, the guys are still fighting it. They still have it. It's like, well, we'll get halfway there, and all of a sudden, yeah, we're dead. And it's like, then you got guys already committed into it. It's like, well, if you pull back, you're just gonna get shot in the back. There's more ticket losses. it's a no lose or no win situation at that point.
That's a fair point. CSA did very well, very smart tactically there. So, speaking of the CSA, let's move on to their side. What was your guys' strategy to defend on Bloody Lane, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
I think kind of exactly what the Union was saying. We intentionally left that CSA right flank, USA left flank unguarded because, I mean, every time there's a fight there, CSA come out losing a lot of tickets, and our plan was really just to try and run the clock down and group up really hard on the CSA left flank, and that was what kind of enabled us to take the pressure off ourselves because every time we got a push from one side, the entire team could kind of react together and just kind of push them back. So that worked really well. And then, yeah, I mean, the only real shift we had to make was we actually didn't expect the Union to cap points so early on battle ready, and we were a little worried that that was going to really drain our tickets faster than we wanted it to, which is why we had that kind of full retreat when we were at taking losses to try and force them to cap the point off us.
Yeah, I was just gonna add. I was actually pretty surprised that the Union didn't just bring all their men over to the left side once they knew that we were just gonna stay there. Only because if they really wanted to bring our tickets down, it would have been a lot more efficient to do it that way than to just sit back and shoot from far away, because that like played directly into our hands. And another thing, I noticed that there was like some Irish unit that like pushed up a lot of the times on the left side, and they got pretty torn apart, and the rest of their team wasn't even there to back them up. So that's another flaw on the Union side that I noticed.
Yeah, that was no communication part. That was, hey, oh, we're charging and they're already charged in.
Yeah,
That was very frustrating on our part. Because it was like what 4 times that shit happened, and we're like,
yeah,
bro, we're
it was
trying
a
to
lot.
form up, and all of a sudden you see like this unit run by, and they just fucking get slaughtered.
I
It's
think
like,
it was just yeah, sorry to interrupt. I think it was just hilarious because there was so many times where I just see them running across like directly open field right in front of us, just going up the mountain and then coming around. And I immediately knew that it was a communication problem on your guys' end. Because like there was no way that they should be going on their own, especially knowing
mhm.
that the whole entire CSA side is literally stacked on that left side. That's like one of the things, if you really wanted to like bring our tickets down, you need to force that massive engagement with your whole team there, ready to go. And otherwise, you're just killing time, played in our
Well,
hands. So.
and that happened on your guys' left, our right as
Yeah,
well, because it happened both sides, right? And that was another thing. So there was a charge in the right towards the beginning, and we're like, who the fuck's charging? And we had a unit
yeah,
shift
your
over to
guys.
cover fire as well. And then he's like, do we go with him? It's like fuck it. At that point, try to mitigate the losses and tickets at that point, and maybe you get a foothold. But no. Then they just stopped mid charge. They stopped at some rocks, and we're just like,
Yep.
okay. And then they ran back, and it's like, what the fuck they do?
Yep. I
So
think it's
that
because
was
like we were able to back up whoever the CSA units were there from the corn. Like they were like, oh shit, there's a whole another unit. Like we just concealed ourselves in the corn, came out, assisted the unit on the fence, and then they realized they were overwhelmed, and we just countercharged. There's a couple
Yeah,
yeah.
times we did
There's no
that,
that
way.
drove them
There's no
back.
reason to charge that fucking
that's
side.
the one action of the IVB I disagree with. But that we after we got wiped there, we had to push through the corn, which we actually fucked up a lot of CSA units in the corn there with our bucking ball. But yeah, I don't think we should have been aggressive on the right side, but I think as a like collective team, we should have been more aggressive.
I think you guys were perfectly fine being aggressive on the right side. You just didn't cohesively do it as a team. Like you guys just piecemealed it and got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, because each time a unit came in, we were able to shoot them down to a point where they weren't really combat effective, and then another unit would come in and we'd do the same thing again.
Yeah, and then it eventually led to like I think 6LA. They eventually pushed up all the way to the top. They were just like, well, looks like they all died. So
Yeah, I-Corps was on that on the start of that map. We were all the way down by the sunken lane itself. We rotated. I think when we saw 6LA do that rotation, one of my I think it was Goondog actually. He was like, "Yo, we should go deal with that." So we shifted right. We went all the way into the corn, and we tried to get you guys as they ran away. I think it was probably 6LA who was running away. We
Mhm.
peeked out over. That was the one time we peeked over that fence on the right hand side. I don't like pushing on the right, especially if you're doing the turtle strat. I just
It's
generally
death.
it's just you have so many men there. Like you have those rocks, you have those two fence lines, you have guys in the corn. It's your entire team, and you get to shoot if we ever push down that side. It's like,
And what's even funnier,
yeah,
when we're up there, you say, "Hey, there's a unit charging toward a point," and we're like, "What?" We peek over the hill and just see it die. Like, well, they're dead. We went back into the
yeah.
like we had no fucking idea until they were already there.
I look to my left and I see just Union people trickling out, and I'm like, oh no, here we go. So yeah,
That was interesting. I mean, other than that, it was okay match, but I think we liked the second one a lot better. That was more cohesive, unfortunately. Or
Yeah, you
fortunately, I
know,
don't know.
all everything is close to your guys' spawn, so.
Well,
Yeah,
also,
I mean,
as artillery, compliment to your guys' artillery, because if we held still, we ran into problems when we'd work an angle. When you guys would come into the lane from a little higher up to start shooting down on you, they smacked us virtually immediately. That was
Yeah,
impressive.
we had 11 Clark's guys on tonight, and they kind of put on a little bit of a clinic with the Arty. They were just hitting
yeah.
all over the map.
No, it was pretty awesome.
Your artillery actually hit us on the second map when we were holding top right at the nipple, which I don't see already hitting that a lot. So
Yeah, they've been
shout out to
working
them.
to kind of dial that one in because we've played Hills a couple of times at CSA now. They really wanted to get that shot.
Another question that I had that I forgot to ask about the first round is, so IVB would sometimes hold in the road, but they would hold in the middle of the road facing towards the corn. They wouldn't be up against a fence. Do you know why, Kasagui?
Yeah, because it gives us a better opportunity to get all our shots off. Because if we're on the fence shooting buck and ball, we can't really get volleys like through each other because we'd have men blocking in front. We didn't really take very many losses in the road because most of the CSA was actually like holding back on the left side, so we didn't really have an angle on them. We were just shooting at the guys mostly holding like that corner nipple, like where there's the straight fence meets the snake fence, like right behind the point for the CSA. That's where we charged there one time, and yeah, I mean, the only thing I disagree with that game about actions was when we moved across to the right side through the open field. Everything else I think was fine. I think volleying the road was effective, and I think it worked out. We didn't really take many losses there.
All right, thank you. So with that being said, let's move on to the second round now. CSA was attacking on Hill's counterattack. So what was your guys' strategy going into the round, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
I mean, I feel like the plan was just pretty much what the normal plan is attacking on that map. Send a group right, send a group left, try to drain some tickets from them, and if they try to turtle, we'll just cap the point and draw them out. I think we did a really good job of drawing the USA on the point, and then each of our regiments just kind of collapsed in on them from both sides, and we did really well in a lot of those melees. And especially also our artillery was also just on point today, just lighting them up whenever we needed them to.
Yeah, so 13th was kind of broken up into two different lines, Kronk leading one and I had the other. And I was kind of satelliting their line because it was a little bigger. They were kind of holding in the middle. I can't remember who was up at the top of the map.
That would be 9th Corps and 2nd Corps. We
Yeah.
kind of combined up there and got in some real tasty firefights
Yeah,
up there.
so at one point after the second cap and recap by them, we kind of our line which kind of split a little more off and went up there and got into it with 9th Corps and them, and got some volleys on a group that was hidden back in that far back corner. Then a big group of Union went really deep towards our Arty on the far right of the map. And so we cut all the way across the map to kind of get out ahead of them on their retreat, to shoot them on their retreat. At which point Kronken kind of formed up with us again, and all of 13th kind of held near the corn and kind of invited them to go on a charge at us that kind of knocked it into breaking.
I think one of the things that worked really well for us, and one of our plans always, was like 9th Corps and 2nd Corps have played that map as CSA a couple times recently, and we've got a fun strategy on that left side of kind of like doing staggered advances on either side of the fence. So like by the time one unit hits, yeah, they will have get mostly killed by their shots, but the other unit will hit almost unscathed. And so that worked really well on that far left up at the top of the hill, and was able to kind of win us the hill, and then we just kind of sat there and put shots down into the Union.
Yeah, For the 6th Wisconsin, we were on the far right side. Our whole deal was basically anytime the Union captured the point, we would just come in from this side. That kind of worked well. Honestly, like a lot of the times when we'd cap initially, see Union guys from the center of the map inch up, and we just come up just right over the horizon and shoot them down. It's really efficient. And the one time that we got pushed back, we got like charged by like 2 regiments. We got pretty much wiped. They pushed all the way to artillery, the Union guys. And that's when Pearl and all of them came down the center. They got pretty much overwhelmed immediately. I saw like from my perspective when we came from the far right side, they were like all dead. Like Union guys were cleaning up. However, we came up from the right side, and I already knew at that point they were close to getting breaking, and I was just like just charge, and they don't know. Like we were completely outnumbered 2-1, but I still told my guys to charge in. We got y'all to breaking. Then Pratly and all of them came from the north side already, and they came down. It was phenomenal. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. Hills was a great map. It's always fun to play CSA. But yeah, pretty fun.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to the Union. What was your guys' strategy to defend the map, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
There's not too much you can do. I mean, not die is number one, but them capping it up, you have to go out and take it back. I mean, you can sit there, play the waiting game, or not. You have to cap it. There's just nothing you can do about it. On the right hand side, I guess that was IVB and PA.
Yeah, it was us and PA.
Did you guys
I
fight in
think
the woods, or did you guys just wait in the fence line? Because it felt like there's a lot of deaths, in my opinion, unnecessary in the woods. Like you have a fence line out of bounds, like use it. But I don't know. We weren't over there. We weren't worried about it. We had our own stuff to worry about on the left.
Yeah, so how the right worked out, we begun the game trading volleys at each other basically. Like we weren't losing any because we would just reload on the fence line, come out, take a volley, come back in. After that ended, I think that's when we started taking heavy losses, and then after that we pretty much just started turtling back on the nipple, and that's when Artie started hitting us at the nipple. But I think we should have tried to be a little more defensive earlier but once again, like you said, it's hard on that map. Their capping point, we have to go like kill them. So not much you can do there. But yeah, that's pretty much how we played out on the right.
Yeah, I mean, we got some good charges. They got some good charges. I think overall it was a pretty much a wash by the time you get to take advantage or even out the tickets when you cap a point back. Left side, that was us charging. Towards the end, we said fuck it because we thought about this turtling just hiding in the corn. But at that point, we're just like, no, let's just have some fun. First map was honestly, in opinion, a shit show. We didn't like it. We were pretty frustrated. The guys needed some fun, so we're like, let's charge down the left, kill those guys, come back, and we saw that group in the road. Like, fuck it, let's just go for it. Charge it, and that other group that came in from the point side, I guess, turn around, hit them, put us to breaking. But it's at that point, it was either go to breaking, hide in the corn, or go to breaking if they cap the point, or go to breaking if you just fucking volley from a fence line. It was like, just have some fun at that point. So,
Yeah,
it was
I
just-
mean, yeah, it was just like a pretty traditional hills map, so it was fun. We definitely traded charges there, but overall, it was a good match. Just it's hills, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, for me it was fun. We were in taking losses, and we decided, like Cheeto and I, we didn't want to just sit in the corn and just wait it out. I mean, we were ready to do that, and that's what Union does if they want to win. But fuck winning, dude. I want to have fun, you know. So we, that's that big push that we did on the left. So, we probably saved an extra 20 minutes of just sitting there, with the CSA, like, should we cap? Should we not cap? We would just be crouching in the corn for like, I don't know, 15 minutes. I don't want to have my guys do that. So.
Yeah, it was a strange one from our company's perspective. It was one of those weird engagements where things are going well for you individually, but you can see that the fight is not going overall your way. Charge on the left was very enjoyable, but at the same time you could see we had to get shifted back right to kind of help try and cover that. It just
Well, tactically, I-Corps did really well. 'Cause like you said, small unit tactically well. Strategically, it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah, those pushes that we had on that left side, I mean, we did massively outnumber. So we killed those units. We get the out alliance at the very end of the charge. I think that first charge that we did all the way on the left, that was really good. I think we went basically equal. I think it was when 6WI came in on that one side. I think that was like basically equal on tickets. It did push us down to breaking, but I mean, it's how Hills goes. So.
Yeah, I mean, on the right, we were definitely outnumbered on the right because CSA had 10 to 15 numbers advantage just plain out, and then they were focusing more guys up top. So I think we could have turtled more there. But then again, you know, you want to give your guys some fun. You want to charge. You don't just want to sit back the whole game. So.
I think also on that Union right, CSA left, you know, in that nipple, what we started doing once you sat back there is we would just send up units to just take a volley at you, and we were like, we know we're going to take fairly heavy casualties doing this, but we'll get some of yours, and at some point you'll go down the morale state. Like you can't
Yeah.
afford to take those
Yeah,
casualties.
you guys had that one charge directly at us where it was kind of funny, but I knew you guys you were like, oh, it's Hills, we have the tickets, might as well go try to get some of them.
All right. Does anyone else have any comments or questions they wanted to ask before we called off for tonight?
Not really. It was just a really enjoyable event. I know that we lost both, but genuinely, it's like if there's a way to lose, it's those kind of games because they were close, they were fun. So yeah.
And yeah, there was a ton of action, and like that's the more fun thing than one team just sitting there and not doing shit the whole game.
At least for us, I know earlier this year there was a lot of tension going in the battle. At least for us, on a map playing as a CSA on Bloody Lane against like Cheeto and his guys. Only because I know earlier this year I was on the Union. I think I was also playing with Pratly at the time, and we also had Preacher. I think. We were playing on Bloody Lane, and that was like the first loss I've ever had as Union on that map. And then I always was like, I'm gonna get my revenge one day, and
I
finally
didn't even
did
remember
today.
that was a thing, but okay.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking crazy. I remember it like it was like yesterday. Because it pissed me off so much. I'm like, damn, we really lost this map as Union. Like, wow. And then Preacher was like, yeah, you know, because Preacher was just mad at, I don't know, he has some beef with y'all. I don't know why, but he was just like really mad, and he was just being super aggressive, and I just remember those vibes. And then playing on this map, and I was just like, damn, this is my time. And finally happened. So yeah, all my guys had a blast. It was fucking awesome playing against y'all. Always is.
All right. With that being said, thank you all for coming on to the post-game interview tonight. It was good fun. All the regiments that participated in this event will be in the description below. Join the Battleline Network Discord if you want to be an announcer or frontline reporter. It's lots of fun. But for now, this was the last regimental match that I'm covering for the summer anyways. College is kicking back up, so I appreciate everyone that's helped up to this point in a post-game interview announcing me or letting me participate in events. It's been a great summer. So with that being said, please like, comment, share, subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next episode, and have a good night.